If you live in the Cleveland area, you know the name Anthony Sowell. He's an alleged serial killer charged with 11 murders. And now the police are investigating 61 more unsolved homicides to see if he's linked to any of them. Tonight, in this exclusive report, Chief Investigative Correspondent Armin Katayan tells us why the police are taking heavy criticism for failing to catch him sooner.
By any standard, it was a shocking discovery.
2 bodies were found.
At least 1 in the basement. 3 confirmed bodies and the possible remains of 3 others.
In all, the bodies of 11 women found at this house on Cleveland's Imperial Avenue.
More disturbing find.
The smell, the stench of death.
One of the bodies upstairs, badly decomposed.
The stench so intense, people had complained as far back as 2006.
That was my daughter then, because she was in the backyard. That was my daughter back then.
Police believe all 11 women were raped and murdered by one Anthony Sowell, a neighborhood nice guy with a dark, violent past.
The state believes that he is a dangerous threat.
He has pleaded not guilty to all charges in the case. Sowell was arrested last October on Halloween. 4 months later, the question still hangs over this city. What took Cleveland police so long to finally catch Anthony Sowell? A CBS News investigation has uncovered exclusive new details revealing critical mistakes by police and prosecutors working the case. How they could have stopped a serial killer if they hadn't ignored charges of rape. County Judge Tim McGinty has been on the bench for 18 years and says he can no longer keep silent.
There's something wrong with this picture. This would not have happened anywhere else.
In fact, Cleveland has more reported rapes per capita than any major city in the nation. 633 in 2008, but no one was charged in more than 2/3 of those cases.
Do you feel the police should have known?
Do I think they should have known? They did know.
Just look at his record. Twice arrested for rape in 1989 and 90, and then served 15 years in prison. Forced to register as a sex offender upon his release in 2005. All of which evidently meant nothing on the night of December 8, 2008. It was right here that night that a woman named Gladys Wade said Sowell punched her, choked her, and tried to rape her. Sowell was quickly arrested and the case turned over to the Sex Crimes Unit. The beginning of a missed opportunity that some say ended up costing 6 other women their lives. The detective's report from that case, obtained exclusively by CBS News, shows the police believed a convicted rapist and not the alleged victim. The detective wrote there were no visible signs that the woman was punched. Detectives and prosecutors stating there was insufficient evidence to prosecute. But while the detective notes visiting the crime scene, there is no mention of the smell neighbors had complained about for years. No note of Sowell's criminal history in the report, despite police claims his record was checked. The conclusion, the woman's claims, including attempted rape, were unfounded. Sowell was set free.
I'm not ready at this point.
Martin Flask oversees the Cleveland Police Department.
They took the word of a convicted rapist over the alleged victim?
All I can say is I know that the investigator did a good job, took statements, investigated the incident, presented the facts to the prosecutor, made a determination that no criminal charges would flow from that incident.
That incident occurred in December of 2008. 9 months later, another woman accused Sowell of rape, and yet police didn't even visit the crime scene for more than a month. It was only then that the death house on Imperial Avenue was discovered. Still, Cleveland Police Chief Michael McGrath had nothing but praise for his department.
I wouldn't say we dropped the ball. We were very vigilant in what we did.
11 people were found dead in one building, and they're kept as trophies, garroted, and they did good police work. Something is wrong here.
What's wrong, according to Judge McGinty, goes beyond the low priority given to rape cases in Cleveland. McGinty and even some police officers say Cleveland follows a long-held practice known as straight release, where detectives and prosecutors routinely release hardened criminals like Sowell instead of indicting them.
They don't have enough time, they don't have the willpower, and they don't have the resources, the numbers. They have to dump cases because there's nothing else they can do.
So we're going to give you a free pass?
They release them. It's like trout fishing, where you catch and release, except these are criminals they're catching and releasing.
As it stands right now, you're finding no fault with anybody in the Cleveland Police Department regarding Anthony Sowell and the investigation?
I don't find any direct fault yet.
Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson recently appointed a commission to review his city's sex crimes investigations. But to date, no one in the Cleveland criminal justice system has been held accountable for the failure to catch and hold a serial rapist turned killer for the unimaginable loss of 11 lives in a single house of horror. Armin Katayan, CBS News, Cleveland.